Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've uploaded a video. In fact, I tried to upload one yesterday which was covering Formula 1 2017, but unfortunately it's been copyrighted because of the official presentation that they've added to this game. So I do know for future that I need to just skip those, unfortunately, but I'm sure you can find other places where you see the proper presentation. But anyway, we are starting a brand new series here on the channel, and it is going to be a career. Basically, in the video I recorded, I was saying that I've been doing a bit of career because I've had this game for a few weeks now. Absolutely love it, and unfortunately that video I can't show you, but one thing I can do is just explain to you as we go along. But one thing we are going to be doing is, let's go on options, let's go on new career, so it deletes the old save, because I have actually got into the second season on my career, but I decided, you know what, I want to do it as a series. Let's start again and see what we can do. So first thing we need to do is to choose our avatar for our driver, and one thing at the moment, I did have this guy. I'm tempted to use this guy, but I don't know whether to use a woman, because you can actually be a woman driver now. It means that I can, but let's have a look through and see if there's any that I would like to choose instead. I kind of like the one that I've got at the moment. Could choose a black guy. He looks cool. Any others? I could use a woman. That would be pretty cool, to be fair. No, but you know what? We're going to use this guy. We're just going to stick with it. So now we have to choose a helmet design, and at the moment I've chosen this one, which I had on my old career, but I'm tempted to change it up a bit. So look, see if there's a cool design. I kind of like the Alan Smith one. Alan Smith one looks pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, let's use the Alan Smith one. Oh wait, but can I change the design, as in the colour scheme? Oh wait. Oh no, yes, right. So I can't use the Alan Smith one because that's a set design. So I'm tempted to use. I kind of like that one. Oh, actually no, I like that one actually. And one thing I want to have it. Wait, let's just have them. Let's have that, that saturation on. I want a kind of a pinky one, pinky purple. So I kind of like it like that, but I might make it a bit more. Do I want it brighter or do I want it deeper? I kind of like that. That's a cool colour. So now let's go on detail. So what's this bit? I can't tell. Oh wait, it's the thing on top. I kind of want it a very deep red, if I can. I don't know, maybe that. And then this one, I'm guessing, is the silver bits. Yeah, it is. So then, what I want is, do I want it a red, or do I want it a deep purple? Ooh, that could be pretty cool. But no, red actually looks pretty decent as well. I don't know. I might have it as a purple. I would like that and then have it a bit darker. How's that? That looks pretty cool actually. So I'm gonna press select on that. We are British, and driver number I have chosen as number 28. It's a number that I do hold pretty dear to my heart, to be fair. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. Wait, I could take Jensen Button's number 22. 24 is pretty cool. 23 is good. No, I'm gonna stick with 28. I think. Yeah, let's stick with 28. My name is already done, abbreviation is done, register details, accept. So now we are ready to go actually into the career, and this is an important decision. Who do I start my career with? Obviously it says at the bottom the team expectation. So for Mercedes it would be hold on to top spot, but I want to challenge. I want to start off pretty good. So team expectations for Sauber would be to score regular points, make performance gains. This team is a past full of success. They belong at the front and won't rest until they get there. Although victories may still be seasons away, this team expects a strong forward momentum. Driver goals will be reasonable but ambitious. Push for podiums for Force India. Develop into a front runner. beat midfield rivals, and then show consistency. So consistency is key. I'm tempted by the Haas F1 team because technically they're the third worst team. I think Haas could be a very good starting point. Okay, so at the top it also says like a career score bonus. So it would be both 10 with Mclaren and Sauber. It'd be 9 for Haas, 8. You get the idea. You get the idea. So the better I get, like I get a score bonus depending on where I'm tempted by McLaren just because like McLaren is an amazing, very successful team, but obviously in the recent years they've been pretty shit. I actually started my career with McLaren. I only stayed there for 10 races because I got a chance to go to Red Bull. But this one's going to be different to my last one. So I'm going to start with McLaren again, and I can choose who my teammate is. Actually, who would it be if it's Haas? It could be Roman Grosjean or Magnussen. I'm happy to keep them as they are. If I chose Sauber, I could have Verline, Ericsson, but score regular points. I'd rather be with McLaren. Yes, it's not going to be the most mechanically sound car, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. So McLaren, and I want my teammate to be Fernando Alonso. So without further ado, let's get into the settings now. So for in the career, you need to have at least a short. You need to have 30-minute practices, but so you can do R&D testing. So that's fully set. Short qualifying means that there's like 10-15 minutes a session, and then you just bang out your best time. I'd rather do that than one-shot qualifying, which is good. Formation lap is going to be off. I don't care about that. Yes, that's going to be good. Al drivers, right? So I did my career on 60, and this would have been in the video that I posted yesterday, but it didn't ever go up because it got banned from YouTube. AI driver level was on 60, so that's the first one on hard, as you might notice. But I am going to set myself a challenge, and in the video that unfortunately I can't show you, I put it up to expert, which is the first level, which is 80% difficulty, and I found that like I did win a 5-lap race in the video, but I only just won it, and I want to think that if I get to the front, I do want to have a car that's going to just keep on improving and keep on. So I want it like very good level. So I'm going to put it on hard still, but I'm going to have it on 75%, which is still very difficult because I have actually tried it out in a couple of races, and I was with the Mercedes, so pretty much the best car, and I still just won by a few seconds really. So we're going to put on that. Plus remember, we're with McLaren, so we're in a slower car, so it's going to be very difficult to get points, and it's going to be more realistic. So I think that 75% difficulty is very good. So race settings, flashbacks, we are actually going to turn them. Actually no, I'm going to keep them on, but I'm very rarely going to use it, and I'll explain why. Safety car we do want on. Damage we want on simulation, which I found out actually is a lot more. It means the cars are a lot more realistic, meaning that they're very fragile. If they take a bit of damage, then it could really cost us. They're very fragile, and obviously in real life you see like loads of like debris in the air. You see like all carbon fibre just flying all over the place when there's a crash. So I want that to be like fully realistic. Safety car I didn't actually have it on in my last career, which I do regret that. But yeah, corner cut and stringency's going to be the same. I don't really need to worry about assist because the only assist I actually have on is 2D racing line, so don't need to worry about that. Dynamic weather for all races and its official start time. So in order to continue now, we advance, which we have done, and the first race is going to be in Australia, but I think there's going to be a few little cutscenes just to get me into Korea. I know what it's like, but if for you guys you might not actually know. All I need to know is when the actual proper presentation things come up, I just need to skip through them very quickly just so I don't get copyrighted. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy this, and let's get into this career. This first episode is going to be quite long, and it might include maybe just the first practice session. Actually, I'd like to get practices done, maybe even qualifying. We'll have to see about that. Yeah, we'll actually properly have to see about that, because the Depends how long this is going to be. But welcome to McLaren Honda, and this is the team area. We've got Eric Boulier, our team principal there. Emma Jenkins, who is our agent, I believe.
Yes, and I respect that. But my client has a championship to contest. So if you want our participation, I'm afraid the concessions are mandatory. Yes, that's fine. Get back to me when you can. Goodbye. No one ever just signs that contract. Anyway, thanks for coming by on such short notice.
Anytime.
To cover a couple of quick things.
That's good, that's good.
Firstly, as requested, it's a copy of your contract. It's a rolling deal. However, the team reserves right of termination if you fail to meet performance standards.
Yeah, I get that. If I'm not good enough, then they can terminate my contract. I get sacked.
Sweet of a deal. I'm also looking to get you into some invitational events throughout the season. The experience and exposure for you is great for your image. It's to drive some things as well. Now then, the next session. Good luck.
So yeah, that's one thing they've added to this F1 is that you can be invited to invitational events where you can use classic cars that have been added to the game in like different sort of like challenges, and you can do them. So yeah, here is the new contract. So dear James, welcome to McLaren Honda Formula 1 team. We are delighted to have you on board and look forward to working closely with you over the upcoming seasons. You will start as the second driver alongside your teammate Fernando Alonso. We expect you to work together to help develop the car and the team as quickly as possible. And I will be talking you guys through the different developments that we can do as we go along in this career. Now let's get that out there and win some points. Kind regards, team management. So press continue and let's go into our laptop, which is where we're going to find literally everything. I don't need the introduction, I can quickly walk through it. So we have our main page where on the right it says like our points for this season, like where we're at. That bar shows like if we're still second driver, if we're doing well or not. This one is our vehicle management. This is where we can do the upgrades, and as you can see we've got different parts of the engine, and we've got 4 like of each part, and they are what we're allocated through the season. And if we press R2, then we can go on to gearbox. The gearbox is slightly different though, because for every other part, if you change it, you don't get any penalty unless you have to order a new part if you've run out of them. With the gearbox though, you can do the same, but each gearbox has to complete at minimum 6 races. If you change it before 6 races, you get a 5 place grid penalty, and like, yes, it's pretty self-explanatory. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into practice 1, and we are going to see what we can do. I need to be careful to skip this next bit, because on this F1 they've added things that you actually see on proper TV when you're watching F1 at the weekend, like this bit, so I need to just skip that and hopefully we got away with it. So now we are in practice, and we've got 5 things that we need to do before qualifying, and we get points for that, which go to R&D testing points, which we can spend on upgrading things, and I will show you that once we get enough. But the first one we're going to do is the track acclimatization, and we're not going to drive out, we're just going to go for a flying lap. Track acclimatization is about learning the track, going through gates, and if you have a good lap and go through all the gates, you get more points and try and get a perfect score. So this is the first chance we are going to see at what this car can do and what sort of times we can do, because I have not used the McLaren on this difficulty, so it's going to be very interesting. Let's get this corner right. Let's put DRS on. So this is going to start the first test, and yeah, the tests remain the same for every race, and it's up to you if you want to do them, but I want to get R&D points, so then upgrade the car. Alright, DRS done. So yeah, let's see if we can actually get a good score to start off our first ever practice in our first ever race weekend. Okay, so far I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm being very careful on the brakes because I know that this is quite a fast-paced circuit. I actually know every circuit off by heart because of just playing old games and watching F1, so I know every track, and Australia is one of my favourites, so I'm expecting to do quite well, but at the same time, like, this difficulty is still unknown territory for me, especially in a car like this. But we seem to be doing very well on these gates so far. going through every gate very well. And the purple means that you did it perfectly, a green means you've done it good, and a red means you've missed the gate. So let's see if we can actually get see, look, I just missed that, so that whole corner goes red. Hopefully that won't damage our chances of getting a perfect score for this test, because I don't want just goods, because it means you get less R&D points. So hopefully doing good. Plus this is a good indicator of what sort of lap times we'll do. Maybe I'm not giving it everything just because of this test. I want to make sure I get all the gates, get that DRS, and across the line. What did I get? I got 480 points, and my target score to get a perfect was 470. So now I've done that, you could just like do another lap and go back in, but I always like to just press options and return to garage. It makes it a lot quicker. Oh, I do apologise for coughing. So we got a perfect score on that, and then also there's team objectives, which are little like challenges you can do in order to actually get some extra points. So we actually achieved 2 of them, which is top speed, so beat the average speed trap speed, and then chain to 5 consecutive corners during the track of climbing. I'm just trying to listen to my mechanic right now, but we are going to go straight into the tyre management test. Okay, one thing I am going to say about this test, because this tests how much wear the tyres get for this like lap until I get a perfect score. I don't know what contributes to I think you just have to have like the smoothest lap possible, so you're not like going around corners like really badly or stuff, just so that you keep the tyre wear down. So we are going to try and be as smooth as possible, try and get a perfect score. You've got 3 chances to get a perfect score or get a green if you're happy with that, but I always like to go for the purple because you get more points. So at the moment we are just in the good, nearly into the bad, so we need to just I'm trying to be as smooth as possible, just trying to ease away, and like they built up a tiny bit, so I'm just trying to be as smooth as possible. You do have a target time that you need to beat, otherwise like you can't just literally just go around as slow as you want, just trying to be as slow. So you need to beat a target time, so you still need to be quite quick, but I'm 5 tenths under it at the moment, so that's very good. This one's normally a fast corner, so I'm just taking it nice and gently, because normally that would wear the tyres quite badly. I know this track like the back of my hand. I do like the Melbourne track, so we're actually near to getting perfect, but this next chicane is actually quite quick, so I'm just going to ease off, dab of brakes, and then just gently go around. So there was a tiny bit of wear because it like flashed a bit red there, but we are getting very into the purple right now, which is very nice. I'm just going to try and be very gentle. Oh, we're actually into the purple now. A few more corners to go. Okay, I'm being very gentle. Right, this corner I just need to take gently, nice and slow, nice. And then around this final corner, which is normally quite quick. Right, now for DRS, look, we have nailed that, plus we're still 7 tenths under our target time, so we have absolutely smashed that. One thing I've noticed is at the moment I am 10th, but I haven't really put in a lap that I would consider like full on to see where we would get, and I don't really know what our targets are for this season just yet. But right, so this next one, because we're kind of trying to get it through these as quickly as possible, because I normally get them done within 2 practice sessions and then go into qualifying. So I'm just making you guys aware of that. So this one is fuel saving, and the best way to like save fuel is by coasting, which means that you're not like accelerating and you're not braking. You're literally just like nothing. You just left it like I am now. I'm not braking. I was literally just like let my finger off the accelerator and just ease around it. But obviously some corners I have to brake, which is just a formality. So I'm gonna have to try and find areas where I can actually just like coast, and that's the best way to get this up for future reference. So this first corner, I'm gonna have to use a bit of brakes, but I just coasted a tiny bit before. Even going around it, I coasted a bit. Okay, so we've got DRS. I could like just ease off now, but I don't think it's good play. I'm gonna ease off now, then I need to start braking. This one I should be able to just ease around. Yeah, so you see it slowly went up. So I'm going to have to coast quite a bit. I'm going to coast around this one. But like, again, there is a target time, and at the moment I am underneath it. It's just turned red, so I need to speed up a bit. So I'm going to try and do this next bit a bit quicker. I might ease off for just a bit on this one. Just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. The next couple of corners on the chicane, I should be alright just to ease off quite a bit. I should be, but the thing is, because I'm not in like the fastest car, it's going to be slow anyway, so I've eased off a bit. Can I ease off again? The thing is, we're going to go into minuses again. I might have to just take like a good in this one, because I need to get round under the target time really. Alright, let's have a look. So we're 2 tenths under again, so we've actually done well. I should have probably eased off there. I'll probably take a good for this one, because I do know that some tracks it is very, very difficult to get a good score. So at the moment our time is dropping, so I need to just speed it to the line. You know what? I know I have 3 chances at that, 3 laps in order to do it, but I'm gonna honestly just take a good. I think I lose out on about 10 R&D points, which isn't the worst. So what team objectives still got? So just set a fast sector 3 in the qualifying race pace. So basically this one is you basically set up to the max. You've got the fastest tyres, you're on the fastest fuel setting, literally everything. It's basically like a qualifying lap, basically to give your team an indication of where you might actually qualify for the race. So this is probably the first time I'm going to be literally full on trying to set a very good time. So if I'm quiet during this next lap, then I do apologise, but like, it's for the greater good. Oh my god, I nearly messed up that corner, and that's not even the start of this lap. Right, anyway, we are about to start our first like proper full on lap, so let's see what we can do. I'm not expecting too much, honestly. There is a target time that I'm to set, which at the moment is 19th place, so all I have to do realistically is beat that. So hopefully we can do something that's decent like that, but like in my mind I would love to be around mid-table, so it means I've got a chance of being in the points for the race, but I don't know how realistic it is on this difficulty. We'll have to just see, really. It's a good lap so far. I'm braking at the right times. I do love having the racing line, because it just mainly helps me out of where I need to brake nice and early. So let's keep on going. At the moment we are nearly 9 tenths quicker than 19th place, so that is good. But this is a tricky chicane. Oh, I did quite well there. I did quite well. Okay, so we're nearly a second, so that's pretty decent, but I'm just focusing on what I'm doing. Okay, last few corners coming up. This is a tricky corner normally. Okay, I got it pretty good. It don't matter if I'm riding the curve just a bit. So either Perez is not really giving it everything, or he's doing a different sort of test to me. Right, I nailed that final corner and put on DRS at exactly the right time. Let's go to the line and see where we get. We got a perfect score, and we should be targeting 15th or higher, and I will explain that in just a sec. So let's return to the garage, and we don't have time for the final test, so that'll have to go into the next practice session. But it says here that my objective was 19th or above, but my estimated qualifying position right now is 9th, which honestly, in a McLaren, on this difficulty, is fantastic. Maybe I could squeeze a tiny bit more time out, but I'm very happy with that. Got perfect for that. So at the bottom it says time remaining for the session. I've got 5 minutes 30. For the race strategy, basically you're set up as if you're just doing race pace, and you've got target times to beat. And if you chain good laps together where you beat the target time, you can actually you get perfect, like you get higher scores, and you reach a target score. Normally it just takes me 3 laps because I beat it. You get 10 points for the first lap, and then you chain it together with a 30 points, and no, 20 for the next one, so you're on 30 altogether, and then you get an extra 30 for the next one, which you go above 50, which is the perfect score. But unfortunately we don't have time, so what I'm going to do is just accelerate time, because there's no time left in this practice session, and we are literally going to get into P2. My plan is for qualifying to set an early lap time as like a benchmark, and then go out later in the qualifying session to try and beat it. So well, let's advance. I think I came 6th there in the in practice 1, but I was using the ultra soft, and I saw that people were using soft and super soft tyres. So that it doesn't really give a good indication at the moment. Like, qualifying is where it's really going to be at. It's where I'm going to have to really nail it. Okay, so I'm going actually in the work station. I think we're going to be talking about research and development, or R&D testing.
Ah, you got my message. Perfect. Welcome to home away from home. We get more.
My home looks nicer.
So I have to spend more time checking over reports and less time hunting you down in the hospitality suite. To that end.
I think your phone's going, mate.
Just a sec. Yeah, Chris, is this important? I'm in the middle of something. Oh, okay. Right.
He just pied me off. He's gone.
Have Sarah reset this simulation. Okay. Sorry.
It better be. I'm recording a video. It's going to get longer now.
Set up a desk for you at the front. You can get onto the network from your laptop, so make sure to check the R&D screen regularly. Let us know.
Okay, this is where I'm going to start to explain it a bit.
Bear in mind that the news from the factory won't always be. Sometimes tests fail, like you've seen just now. When that happens, we have to divert additional resources to fix it. C'est la vie, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so basically, if you fit a new part to the car, there is a chance it fails, and you just lose out on those resource points. So this is where we got the resource points from the last race, and you just like accumulate them as we go. So the actual difference between passing and getting a perfect on a fuel saving was 20 points. You never know, that could honestly be like a huge difference, but we did actually start with quite a few, and you can see in the top right we've got 3,229, so I can spend those how I want. So on the R&D tree it looks like this, and the first things I'm going to properly do for this car is make sure that all my engine is more durable, more reliable. So first thing I'm actually going to do is I am going to buy it increases the durability of all power unit components by 10%, so I'm going to buy that. I can't buy any of these until that's fitted next week, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to keep hold of those resource points for now, because there are things, that, especially these, that I'm going to be buying once it's fitted in a race's time, so we can get off that, press square and go to practice 2 and finish off the race pace testing, and then skip to qualifying, do the qualifying, and then that's going to be in the episode. Because we did all the setup for, oh god, I need to remember that I can't do those. Let's just hope that we're okay in doing that. Let's go on to race strategy and start it. I'm sorry that this is actually a longer first episode, and I do hope that people watching watch to the end. But from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do practice and qualifying in one episode, and then the next episode is going to be the race, which normally they take about 20 to 25 minutes to do. Or, well, that's how I'm going to do it, but if I get offered to an invitational, then I will have that as a separate episode. So it's not going to be like the odd numbers are going to be practice and qualifying, and then like the even number episodes are going to be, because we don't know, we're going to just see how it goes. So let's do this. So yeah, basically the next 3 laps I'm going to do is literally just to see what my race pace is like, see if I can beat like target times. So I don't have to give it the full beans like I did in the qualifying program, but I honestly want to get around here as quickly as possible, get this test done, get on to qualifying, and let's see where it really matters, because at the moment these are just to help us get some more points, and at the moment we do have a lot of points. I might have even just chosen not to do this, but down in the comments I want you to tell me if you want to see like me do all these practices and like R&D testing, because I could actually do them off camera and then tell you exactly the scores I got before like before we actually start each episode, like each new race weekend. So it's kind of up to you, because it's literally the test that we're doing is at every track. So maybe I might actually leave them out, maybe have like an episode that's like maybe qualifying and race in the same one. I don't know, maybe if you just want that, that's something that I could definitely do potentially, but we'll see how this one goes and then like see what happens there. So we have just completed our first lap, and we are actually 1.4 seconds ish like quicker than expected. So it is actually pretty simple to do this one because the target times are actually so low. So this shouldn't be a problem. That's why it always just takes me like 3 laps to do. Also on the team objectives, some weekends it's going to say complete this certain test, the race pace test, in 2 different tyres. I'm not going to do those. It's only like 10 resource points more to do that, so I'm not going to do that. It don't really matter if I don't hit every objective, as long as I get the main tests done and at least get goods on them. But most of them I'm going to get perfects, like qualifying, race pace, even like track acclimatization. I normally just get perfect. It's just the 2 like the fuel one and the tyre ones. Actually the tyre ones I'm normally very good at. It's just the fuel one mainly that I don't always get perfect on, because some tracks it's very hard to keep low fuel. So we are actually into the last sector of the second lap. So actually I'm just looking at the top left. At the moment I'm 4th. Obviously Magnussen has got the ultra softs on, who's currently in 1st, so I'm not looking to see how I do against him, but against the but actually in races Magnussen is probably going to be a key threat. He's at Haas F1 team, so he is actually going to be quite a main threat. So we've smashed that one. We've just got 1 lap to go, so we've actually got good right now, but we want perfect. So all we have to do is 1 more lap, beat the target time, and then on to qualifying, really. Yeah, basically this is what I love about this game. Like, even though it's repetitive stuff for the weekends, once you get down to the races, that's where it really matters, and it's just so enjoyable. And I do actually enjoy doing this, because I love like going around tracks. I love just driving the car, and if like you really love driving games, you love F1, I thoroughly recommend this game. I can't recommend this game enough. I absolutely love it. When I bought it I was thinking, okay, I've had F1 games in the past, I've played it for quite a bit, and then I just got rid of it. But I honestly see myself playing this for the whole year that it's like out, until they bring out F1 2018. So well done to Codemasters for making this game so good. And I just love the feel of the 2017 cars. Obviously you can tell that they're wider. They've actually gone back to the old like layout where the back tyres are actually bigger than the front, but wider means that it's more planted, more downforce, and it's actually better top speed than previous years. Okay, so we are going around on the final 2 corners. We're at 1.7 seconds ahead at the moment. Could go to about 1.8 potentially. Oh, it's actually going up to 1.9 at the moment. Not going to break 2 seconds, are we? No, just under. So we got perfect for that. So all we're going to do is return to the garage, and instead of just like fast forwarding the rest of this session and the next one, all I'm going to do, so we've done that, we've got all the objectives, I'm going to just go to this one, end session, advance qualifying, press OK, and then straight there. Where did we actually end up? We were only on the super softs. We're 15th above the Haas, above Fernando, which is very important, because I think he is actually going to be our first rival. I think, at least. So we're just gonna have to see on that. Just having a big stretch while it's loading. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far, and if you want to see this carry on, yes, I understand that episodes are going to be quite long, but you feel free to skip forward and just see how I do. I don't mind that. So resource points, we got a bit more. Got 2,800. So normally they cost about 500 or 1,000 to do upgrades. So that's something to keep in mind.
A bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Get people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Is it going to be Fernando? Introduction to rival. I literally just explained it. Yeah, and first rival is going to be Fernando Alonso. So I think the score to beat is 30, and if you do something better than him, you get a point. So say like I finished ahead of him in a race or out-qualified him, I get a point over him. So it's just like a little rivalry. So this is where we listen to our voicemail.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
Okay, so qualify in 17th or higher and beat Fernando Alonso. Straightforward. Okay, so this is where it gets good. So go to short qualifying. So it's just one small session, about 10-15 minutes, maybe I think it's like 12 or something, I don't know. And this is just to see where we start the race on the grid. So we need to finish 17th or higher and beat our teammate Fernando Alonso, or our rival Fernando Alonso. I want to become #1 driver at McLaren. I made sure to skip that. So we've already got the best setup. Let's go for a flying lap, set an early benchmark, see where we go. But there are obviously other cars on track, so I need to stay out of the way of them. But luckily there's none like literally just in front of me, so I've got a bit of space just to see. Oh, we've got Fernando behind us on the track, hence the yellow marker on the mini-map. Okay, so let's get this final corner right, because we want to... maybe a bit slow. The sun is blinding, but that's fine, that's fine. The lights and the graphics on this game I need to come out ahead of Palmer, realistically. Oh, that might have been bloody close, actually. Right, so DRS is on. Let's smash out a first lap in our first ever qualifying of our career. Got that corner pretty spot on. My braking actually is so much better. I'm not like forcefully putting down just like heavy braking, because I don't want to lock up and lose like tyre wear. I'm just easing into corners, and that's why I love like the racing line, because it gives me an indication of when I should brake. I can't believe how like drivers do it in real life, because they have to think about what gear they should be in, when should I brake, what cars are around me, stuff like that. So far we're doing very smooth lap, but I don't know if it's going to be very quick. We need to nail this chicane. We do need to nail it. Oh, I turned in a bit too early then. I lost a tiny bit of acceleration there, because I kind of turned in onto the second part of the chicane. Luckily I didn't get like a corner cutting stringencies. But yeah, around the final few corners, that light, because I can't see the racing line, is actually kind of bad. Come on, nail this final corner. I had to ease off a tiny bit, I'm afraid. DRS is on, and just go, 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 go! And across the line. At the moment we're in third. So what we're going to do is go to the garage, and we're going to keep an eye on the times for now. And with about 3 minutes left is when I'm going to go out again. But first, before I look at like proper times, I'm going to look at the setup, and we're going to get onto some brand new tyres, and let's see what the difference is. So at the moment on this, only use 7% wear, obviously. So we've got onto a new set of Ultra Softs, and apparently the lap times is 0.2 seconds quicker. So hopefully, because it's quicker tire, I should beat my first time. So let's go into session info now, go onto the time screen and see where we are. We are 5th at the moment, ahead of Kvyat in the Toro Rosso, Grosjean in the Haas F1 team, Ocon in the Force India, Jolyon Palmer in the Renault. We're beating Fernando at the moment by, where is he? Yeah, about 8.8 seconds. That's actually decent. But if you look, all of these haven't set times. So Hamilton's going to go above us, Verstappen's going to go above us, Hulkenberg potentially is going to go above us, Magnussen's going to be around us, Perez should beat us, and Raikkonen should beat us because he's in a Ferrari. So what we're going to do, there's 5 minutes left, I'm going to accelerate time a bit to around 3 minutes, about there, which is fine. Gonna go out of that, and then we're gonna go out again. This is the final lap of this episode, so I want to get it even better. Okay, luckily there isn't a car out in front of us again, but there might be one. Okay, we're down to P8 at the moment, but still, that's not bad. Apparently our expectation, well, our estimated qualifying position was 9th. Even if I don't improve on this lap time that I just set, it's not the end of the world, because I see us being competitive. So let's see what we can do. Okay, get this corner right, James. It all starts with the first corner. Good exit. There's DRS coming up, so time that well. It's good, but we're still down on our time, because one thing I've noticed, like when you do second qualifying laps, it compares it to your last one, sees if you're improving it, and it's live, so it's not just after each sector that it tells you. So let's see if we can keep it green. That was a decent corner. It could have been a bit better. Got that corner spot on-ish. Maybe not spot on. Okay, we're still down. It's that chicane coming up that is going to probably make or break. Apparently these tyres are supposed to be quicker anyway, but we're losing time. But hopefully this chicane I can gain some time. So qualifying is ended, so once I cross the line it is over for me. Okay, I nailed that. What? Oh wait, no, my time is getting better. But I need to nail this final sector now. That's decent, that's decent, that's decent. Push, 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 James. That was a sloppy corner, and I do apologise. Second to last corner, let's get it right, but this is the corner that I normally fail on. Think I got a spot on. DRS is on. We are actually 3/10 quicker. Okay, it's dropping a slight bit, and across the line. So now we find out where we're going to be. We start 8th, so we were estimated 9th. We have smashed that. On the harder difficulties, well, 8th is a very good place to start the race, but I will say this, because apparently it looks like Perez has got a 5 grid penalty anyway, but we beat him. But because I'm in a McLaren, I'm expecting Ocon to go past me. As I was saying, I expect in the next episode's race that Ocon will go past me before the first corner. Because you've got to remember, I'm in a McLaren, probably one of the slowest cars. It's on the corners that I really make the time up. But I expect a few of these to actually go past me. Plus, because I'm on simulation, I can't really get into any fights. So I'm going to have to be very, very defensive. I expect Stroll to go past me in the Williams, Perez as well. But Perez, I think, oh no, he has a 5 second, oh no, 5 position grid penalty. I don't know what he did though. But we beat Fernando and we beat the 17th place. So let's just go into advanced, so it takes us back to like our hub, our laptop, so we can wrap up the episode. So next episode we will be starting the Australian Grand Prix in 8th, and yeah, it should be a good one. Obviously I do have flashbacks on, but I'm only going to use that if like it's a serious crash and I lose a wheel, because normally you're forced to retire from them. But I might just like join back, because I want to have it so I race in every race. So we've got more resource points for like doing certain objectives. So here's the rivalry update. So we both completed qualifying, so we both get a point. I got the fastest lap, so I get another point. So at the moment it's 2-1 to me against Fernando, and I did well, so I go up slightly because I'm getting closer to that first driver. And at the bottom it says reputation level, so this is teams looking at me, and like once it gets to the end, then potentially they could offer me a contract. But in this first season I'm tempted just to stay with McLaren, and then maybe at the end of the season if I get offers I might move, but we'll see. But guys, that is the first episode of F1 2017 career. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'm sorry that it's been a long episode, but next episode should be about 25 minutes long with the race and everything like that. But until next time guys, it's me, Jealous704, saying goodbye.